This is the story of how Janet Jackson, one of the world's biggest pop stars, faced the most devastating loss of her life when her brother Michael died suddenly in 2009. While the world mourned the king of pop, Janet's grief was deeply personal, profoundly private, and utterly transformative.
On June 25, 2009, Janet Jackson was in Atlanta on the set of Tyler Perry's Why Did I Get Married Too? When she received the phone call that would change everything. Michael Jackson, her older brother, her mentor, her creative partner, was gone at just 50 years old. Within hours, she was on a plane back to Los Angeles, leaving behind the movie set to join her family in their darkest hour. The Jackson family consisted of 9 siblings, but Janet and Michael shared a special bond. As the youngest of the family, Janet had watched Michael transform from her big brother into the biggest entertainer in the world. They'd collaborated professionally, most memorably on their 1995 duet Scream, a $7 million music video that became one of the most expensive ever made. But beyond the glitz and glamour, they were simply brother and sister who genuinely enjoyed each other's company. When Janet arrived at her parents' home in Los Angeles on June 26th, she joined a family in shock. The woman who had commanded stages around the world suddenly found herself in the role of grieving sister, supporting her mother Katherine and trying to process an incomprehensible loss. The next few days would test her in ways no performance ever had. 3 days after Michael's death, Janet was scheduled to present at the BET Awards. The show would go on to feature tributes to Michael, but Janet withdrew from her appearance. It was one of the first signs that while the world expected the Jackson family to publicly mourn their most famous member, Janet would handle her grief differently. She chose privacy over publicity, silence over statements, family over fame. The public memorial on July 7, 2009 at the Staples Center became a global event. Millions watched as the Jackson family said goodbye to Michael. Janet attended, wearing sunglasses, remaining largely silent throughout the ceremony. While others gave speeches and performances, she sat with her family, her grief hidden behind those dark lenses. Some criticized her for not performing, for not speaking, but Janet was processing loss in her own way. At the MTV Video Music Awards later that year, Janet finally spoke publicly about her brother. Her words were simple but powerful. "To you, Michael is an icon. To us, Michael is family." In that single sentence, she captured the duality of their existence, the public persona the world knew, and the private person only his family truly understood. The initial statement she released after his death revealed the depth of her loss. "He was my brother, my family, my friend. He will live in all of our hearts forever." But these public words only scratched the surface of her private anguish. In subsequent interviews, she would reveal the small, heartbreaking details of her grief. She wore Michael's favorite cologne to feel close to him. She kept his photo in every dressing room. Most poignantly, she still texted his old phone number, sending messages to a brother who would never reply. When Janet returned to performing with her Number Ones tour later in 2009, the shows became an unexpected tribute to Michael. She performed Scream solo, with Michael's image projected beside her, turning their duet into a haunting solo performance. Every night she faced the reality of his absence while thousands watched. It was both cathartic and crushing. In her 2011 book, True You, Janet dedicated a chapter to Michael, writing about their relationship with a tenderness she rarely displayed publicly. She shared memories of their fun together, their inside jokes, their sibling bond that existed separate from their superstar status. "I would have done anything for my brother," she wrote, a sentiment that resonated with anyone who had lost a sibling. The controversies that followed Michael's death created additional challenges for Janet. The family disputes over Michael's estate, the trial of Dr. Conrad Murray, the ongoing media scrutiny, all of it complicated an already difficult grieving process. Janet largely remained neutral in family disagreements, attended the Murray trial only sporadically, and continued to protect her privacy fiercely. While some family members gave interviews or made public statements, Janet remained notably quiet. As years passed, Janet slowly became more comfortable discussing Michael. In a 2018 Billboard interview, she opened up about the ongoing nature of grief. "Sometimes I can't believe he's not here. It's surreal," she admitted. The disbelief, even years later, was palpable. She spoke of thinking about him every single day, of the moments when the loss hit her anew. The 2022 Janet Jackson documentary provided the most detailed account of her grief journey. For the first time, she spoke at length about those early days after Michael's death, about flying back from Atlanta, about the family gathering at their parents' home. She revealed that she had saved Michael's voice on her phone and listened to it when she missed him most. It was an intimate admission that showed how she kept him close in whatever ways she could. One of the most touching revelations was that Janet still texts Michael's old phone number. In an age of instant communication, she continued a one-sided conversation with her brother, sharing her thoughts, her successes, her struggles with someone who couldn't respond but whose presence she still felt. It's a detail that humanizes grief in the digital age. How do we say goodbye when technology keeps presence alive? Janet's tribute performances to Michael became a regular part of her shows. In her Las Vegas residency and major concerts, Scream remained a setlist staple. Each performance was both a celebration of their collaboration and a reminder of loss. She performed with strength and professionalism, but those who looked closely could see the emotion behind the choreography. The 2019 documentary Leaving Neverland created new challenges for the Jackson family, raising allegations about Michael that divided public opinion. Janet remained publicly silent on the controversy, neither defending nor condemning, simply protecting her private memories of her brother. Her silence spoke volumes about her decision to separate the public figure from the personal relationship. Throughout the years, Janet has participated in family gatherings honoring Michael's birthday, posted social media tributes on anniversaries, and continued to preserve his legacy in her own quiet way. She's established scholarships in his name and participated in family initiatives to keep his memory alive. But perhaps most importantly, she's shown that grief doesn't follow a timeline, that missing someone doesn't diminish with years. In recent interviews, Janet appears more at peace with discussing Michael, though the pain remains evident. She speaks of him with a mixture of joy and sadness, celebrating their memories while acknowledging the permanent absence. "I think about him every single day," she said in her 2022 documentary, words that resonated with anyone who has lost someone central to their life. The relationship between Janet and Michael Jackson represented something unique in the entertainment world. Two global superstars who were, at their core, simply siblings. Their collaboration on screen showcased their professional chemistry, but it was their personal bond that defined their relationship. When Michael died, Janet lost not just a brother but a creative partner, a confidant, and one of the few people who truly understood the unique pressures of Jackson family fame. Janet's journey through grief has been notably private in an age of public oversharing. She turned down multiple lucrative offers to speak about Michael immediately after his death, choosing family over financial gain. She processed her loss away from cameras, finding solace in private memories rather than public tributes. Her approach offered a different model of celebrity grief, one that prioritized personal healing over public performance. Today, Janet continues to honor Michael in ways both public and private. Every performance of Scream becomes a moment of connection with her brother. Every tribute post on his birthday or death anniversary represents a public acknowledgement of private pain. She carries him with her, in the cologne she wears, the photos she keeps, the voice messages she's saved. The story of Janet Jackson's reaction to Michael Jackson's passing is ultimately a story about the universality of loss. Fame, fortune, and global recognition don't shield anyone from grief's impact. Janet's journey shows us that losing someone fundamental to our identity requires not just time but a complete reimagining of self. She had to learn to be Janet without Michael, to perform their duet as a solo, to carry their shared memories alone. What makes Janet's grief particularly poignant is its permanence. 15 years after Michael's death, she still texts his number, still thinks of him daily, still can't quite believe he's gone. Her experience reminds us that grief isn't something we overcome, but something we incorporate into our lives. We don't move on, we move forward, carrying our loved ones with us in whatever ways we can. This is the story of Janet Jackson's loss, but it's also the story of every sibling who has faced an empty chair at family gatherings. Every person who has picked up the phone to call someone no longer there. Everyone who has had to learn to live with absence where presence once was. In sharing glimpses of her grief while maintaining her privacy, Janet has shown us that there's no right way to mourn, no timeline for healing, no expectation except to honor our truth. To the world, Michael Jackson was the king of pop. To Janet, he was simply Michael, brother, friend, collaborator, and family. Her reaction to his passing reminds us that behind every public loss is a private grief. Behind every icon is a human being who was loved, and behind every tribute is a person trying to make sense of a world forever changed. Janet Jackson's journey through loss continues, a testament to love's permanence and grief's ongoing presence, showing us that some bonds transcend even death itself.